welcome to the Let's Get Cozy Book Club podcast. This week we're chatting with Cait Waynelovich. So, grab a blanket, a warm beverage, and cozy up.
Yay! Welcome, Cait.
Welcome. Yeah, we're excited to have you.
Yeah. And so Cait is a writer and co-host of the podcast Marks and Manuscripts, where she shares candid conversations about writing, publishing, and building a creative life. She holds an MFA from Bay Path University, and Places Will Go is her debut novel inspired by her love of travel and stories about women finding their way. She lives in New England with her husband and their 2 kids.
That's me.
Yay.
Being on this side, yeah.
Yeah, I love that you have a podcast too. We'll have to chat about that maybe at the end, but I'm interested to ask you about your podcast and
For
everything.
sure, yeah.
So something we wanted to do to kick things off was talk about some of our favorite memories or things we enjoyed about each of the locations where Cait, the protagonist, goes in the book, which was Barcelona, Tangier, and Paris. And I've been to all 3. Lily, you've been to all 3, right?
I went to Marrakesh, not Tangier, but like Morocco. Yeah.
Pretty close.
Okay, so yeah, like, yeah.
And Cait's been to all 3, and Liza's been to 2 out of 3.
I've been to 2 out of 3.
Good.
You'll have to go to Morocco sometime, Liza.
Maybe. I really want to go to Egypt. That's on my big bucket list. So
For sure.
Cool. So let's start in Barcelona, shall we?
favorite memory?
Favorite memory, one of your favorite things about Barcelona. So we, the Pinzak sisters, went to Barcelona on a family trip 11 years ago,
Yes,
which was quite
'cause
fun.
I was teaching in Madrid, and Lydia was studying abroad in Madrid, and then we took a family trip in Madrid, Barcelona, and then we did Budapest, and where else?
Prague.
Prague. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so Barcelona was our first stop on that trip, which was very fun. And my favorite part was like the architecture, like Park Güell and Sagrada Familia, for sure.
Which made it in the book.
It did.
I mean, you got to talk about it. It's so like bizarre and cool and like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
highlight for sure. And it just like separates it out from any other place in the world, but especially like any other place in Spain for sure.
Yeah.
Liza, you up? Lily, favorite parts of Barcelona?
I'd say I just went recently when I was studying abroad, and I really liked the food. I had really good paella there, which was awesome. And yeah, the food was really good. I remember just like eating really good food the whole time I was there. That's the best part. Yeah. Wise, you?
Barcelona, so I don't have a good well, I'll do a not so good memory. So this was one of the first places I traveled when I lived abroad. So we were like in like the middle of, I don't know, downtown, and you have like these cans of grapes and you're like shoving them in your face when like it's New Year's Eve.
You have to eat the 12
And
grapes,
then-
right? Yeah.
Yeah, you have to eat the 12 grapes. I don't really remember why.
Oh, okay.
And then, yeah. And then my friends, they all got pickpocketed. They had their passports with them, and they were all stolen.
Yeah.
So it turned out to be not a good night for them. But yeah. So be careful.
It's true. It will happen. And like I
Yeah.
feel like it's so funny because as a like the reason I went to all these places because I was a study abroad advisor. That was my actual job at the time that I was sent abroad, and so I was like dealing with all of these students that were going to study in these places, and I'm just like, you guys, like I get like you are 19-year-old Americans that think nothing can ever happen to them. That is bad, but this is going to happen to you. This will happen. This will happen to you, and nobody believes you until it happens. It's so annoying when it does, but it will happen to you.
Passport.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
tough. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
that
was
was my passport, but I was pickpocketed at one point in Spain. Yeah. I just lost like a credit card, so it wasn't a big deal, but it was
Yeah.
it happens.
It does. It happened to me 3 times. Not just in Spain, but yeah, like Spain was a funny one. I was solo traveling, so like had my backpack on, and I had my big suitcase in the train
On the cobblestones.
on the cobblestone. So like I'm on the train in Barcelona going to like wherever I'm going to, and it's so crowded and stuff, and so like you have to, like I can't like maneuver anything, so my backpack's on just like the way that it is. And all of a sudden I just feel somebody rummaging through my backpack. And luckily it was packed. However, it was packed, and I just turned around, and this like woman had just like my hair straightener on the train, like in a closed train. And I turned around and I was like, "Can I have that back, please?" Like that was the first time, so I was so like, "Oh my god!"
Did she give it back?
And she just handed it back to me. She tried to play it off like I dropped it. There was another time in France that it happened, but then the third time I got pickpocketed, I was with my mom. She was visiting me. And we were on the platform in London going to like Tower Square, like the Tower of London. And I have like a side bag, like a saddle bag on across my chest. And I felt somebody rummaging through my, like, which is friggin' bold.
Yeah.
To like have it like right on your side. And my mom doesn't even notice, but I turned around and I smacked her. Like full reflex. Like, I was like, this is not happening. And I turned around, I literally smacked the woman, and I started screaming on this platform that she was pickpocketing me. And
Nice.
Everybody watch out.
Yeah.
My mom, to this day, is, like, traumatized.
That's funny.
That's kind of
I was like,
awesome.
You like
Yeah.
noticed. That's impressive
Yeah.
that you noticed.
Yeah, I think
Or
at
you-
some point you're just like, yeah, you're prepared for it. Or, like, you just accept that it will happen. Or, like,
Yeah.
it's something that's going to happen. But, yeah. No, yeah, it's a thing. So annoying.
Okay. Tangier, Morocco. Favorite things there? Or not so favorite things? So when I studied abroad, I went to Tangier and I didn't love it. It was not my favorite country I visited, but I did enjoy like the ferry ride over. So we like took a bus all the way down to like the southernmost point of Spain and then took the ferry over, which was very cool. And then I did ride a camel, which was kind of terrifying, but
You were like Jan?
It was cool. Yes, I was like Jan.
Screaming, yeah.
Yeah.
Jan on camel, yeah. Tangier is scary, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I
like the
agree.
food. I think I'll go with Lily. I think the food in Tangier was really cool.
Yeah. It is cool. I
The
feel like
spices, yeah.
the spices are good. I also didn't love when I went to Marrakesh. It was like not my favorite city. It was definitely like really pretty. Like the Sahara Desert, that was so cool when we went there. But like the city itself, it was just like too much. I felt like everyone was trying to like scam me the whole time. Like the taxi scene was real in the book. And like everyone was like, watch out on the ATMs. They like put the little things in it just to your credit card information. And it's like, oh no. And like getting cash in the water. It was just like a lot. It was a lot. But it was awesome. It was just like a lot. Yeah.
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 So much. Yeah. Like
So, Elias, you need to go.
Well, you like it to see it though, like, and there is like once you get comfortable too, there is that feeling of like being this romantic idea of like an adventurer American abroad, like some like old movie, like romance of, like I'm in Marrakesh or I'm in like Morocco, and then it goes away really fast. But like I feel like it is definitely like a out of comfort zone experience for a while until you can like get to that point of like understanding it. But I'm not like dying to go back at any time.
Yeah, I don't think I stayed long enough, or I would have liked to gone to more places maybe. But it is an interesting, like, I feel like a cultural clash of like, there's like French influence, Spanish influence, like Arabic influence, like there's just like a lot going on. So it's kind of interesting culture.
For sure. Yeah.
All right, last stop, Paris.
Paris.
Lies, do you want to start? What's your fave?
So I went to Paris like the first time I lived abroad, and I did not love it. But when we went with our family recently, this past spring, I actually really enjoyed it. I think I always have thought you needed a lot of money to enjoy Paris because we like to stay at like a nice hotel because we stayed at a really awful, like grungy hostel, and it was not a good situation. And so with our parents, we stayed at a very lovely hotel. It was like in a great location, and like, had money to go and, try different restaurants and all that sort of thing. And so it was lovely this time around. So
Yeah. That's fair.
I really like all the art museums, and like there's a lot of like
true.
culture and like cool, it's just beautiful. Paris is very, very, very pretty.
It is.
It is really pretty.
Yeah.
I feel like the Eiffel Tower sparkling, that was my favorite. And when we did Versailles, that was super, super cool. Like we got like a golf cart and like did the gardens, which was really cool.
That was pretty fun.
That's cool.
I think that was my favorite part of Paris. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
I've been to Paris. I didn't get to go on this latest family trip to Paris, unfortunately, but I went when I studied abroad 11 years ago, and I really enjoyed the sights. I really liked the Louvre, and I really liked like the French patisserie and like the baked goods. Very, very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I do, like, I agree with you, Liza, too. Like, I think, it's been a long time since I've been back to France, but I think now when I think about taking my daughter, like, really wants to go, and she's starting to get interested in that, and I'm like, oh, like, it'll be so nice to take her as, like, a 40-year-old woman that can afford to go to Paris and do it the way that she wants to now, and not, like, a 28-year-old, like, living there and trying to be a local, or, like, whatever my experience was there. I also, like, the French culture is really hard for me. I did not do well there. Like, living there, I felt it, like, really closed off. And, like, even in the little villages and communities, like, spending every day there for years, just, like, people's, like, windows are closed. And, like, nobody's, like, it's not very, like, communal and fun the way that, like, Barcelona is. I feel like Barcelona, like, everybody's outside. Everybody's, like, at the park with their kids. Like, everybody's talking to each other. In France, like, everyone's, like, closed, like, don't come near me, like, judgy, like, so I think about Paris, I'm like, I actually want to have the tourist moments there with my kids, and then, like, enjoy it that way, like you said, Liza, like, the way that you, like, want to do it.
Cool.
Sounds so fun. Cool.
All
I'd love
right.
to talk about places we'll go.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we hit on it. I think that basically covers it.
Yeah. Jan on camel.
Jan on camel. Yeah. Tangier, Barcelona, Paris. I try not to focus on Paris that much. Like, I try to, like, keep it outside of Paris, because I feel like we like, it's been done. It's been done.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we have some questions for you, Cait, about the book, if you don't mind, if we jump in.
Let's do it.
But I'm kind of, curious. You talked about it a little bit, I think, but what is, the initial spark that, like, inspired the story and the setting and then the places that Cait goes?
Yeah, and, like, why you pick those 3.
Yeah, why the 3? It's a good question, because they don't, in, like, real life, they didn't all happen at the same time. They were, Barcelona and France happened in the same time, but Tangier was a different trip. I feel like the 3 of those, well, the spark was, like, I grew up loving Eat, Pray, Love. I grew up loving Under the Tuscan Sun and, like, classic travel books like Austin Land and, like, the American getting out of their regular life and going abroad. So it was definitely, like, a full-on rip of Eat, Pray, Love. I mean, like, I was, like, learning how to write. This was for my MFA, so I literally opened up Eat, Pray, Love, and I was like, what page does she go to India on? That's when she needs to go to whatever that spiritual part of her journey is, right? So that's why I feel like Tangier fit really well. I had this experience in Tangier that I feel like could relate to the book. I could throw Jan in there, and that would be funny. That's why I brought that in, where I feel like Barcelona is not written about a lot. Like, I think it's an upcoming place that's, like, really, really fun. It could have been, it fit kind of into that Italy part of the Eat, Pray, Love. Just the, like, getting out of yourself and having fun, letting go, drinking, going nuts and meeting people and having fun. I think Normandy, like, I just knew that I needed to write about that experience, like living in France, and I knew that that needed to be the biggest part of the book in her journey.
So did you go to like a World War II reenactment, and like did this like kind of actually happen?
Yeah, all of that was true. Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
was all like real life. Yeah, names, places, everything's are changed. And the only people that I didn't change names or details about were Jim and Sandy, and they are totally cool with that. They are loving their time.
Wait,
in the
they're real
spotlight.
people?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
That's
they like
awesome.
live around the world. They like change every 3 months. They're retired doctor and nurse. Everything, that's all like them. Like, too good to fictionalize those two. That's all them, but everything else happened mostly like as it's written.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't realize that, yeah, it was so close to like your life. Is that why the protagonist is Cait? Because it's you?
Yeah, because at some point I was like, I just need to like write this without it being a memoir. Like I knew I was like, I don't want to write a memoir. That's not at all my thing. But I really wanted to write about these experiences, and I really wanted to write a travel book. So kind of it took 10 years to like get to that point of being able to like, okay, I've had the experiences now, and like I'm a good enough writer now to be able to like go on this journey. And I needed like all of the things to be able to get here.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
And when
so
you
cool.
say this is based on your real life, is the beginning part with like the cheating and then the the
There's not an
musical,
evil Lydia in your life, is there?
was how
It's a good question, but a lot of that was definitely like fictionalized. You know, you're like, okay, I have to get the protagonist to like where she needs to be, and she needs to be at a certain place and be open to transformation. But I mean, I went through a really bad breakup. It was a really, really hard time in life, and I was feeling really lost when I did go abroad for 3 months, and then I didn't come back for 2 years. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, it just kind of worked out like that. My job was like study abroad, and a lot of people went abroad over the summer, like lead groups, or like I led like a group of teenagers through London studying musical theater. So that was like my job. And I was like, what if, can I also do this in Barcelona? Can I also like jump on some other things? And so they said, yeah, I could go for the summer. And they were like, I was like, I'm going through a bad breakup. I need to get out. I need to like have this thing. And then I just like didn't come back. So did my MFA in France and like stayed in France. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Do you
so
speak
cool.
French?
Wow.
That's so cool.
Not really. No.
Not really.
It was like a super isolating. But yeah, and then the ending, like Cait's ending with Luke, like I just kind of, I think that like I did make the decision to stay ultimately, and like it was probably the wrong decision, and probably made at like a moment of like feeling lost, and so I didn't want to give her that ending. You know, I wanted her to like do the right thing for Cait at the time.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. I was wondering that because that's what I thought was going to happen, is that she was gonna, I guess you were gonna stay and like continue writing and like, you know, travel, but like also take the time to like write and learn your craft and that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm glad she came back though. I think that it was a good, time for her to, you know, be still for like a moment and be alone and figure that out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there is a moment where Alicia at the end, when we wrap up Alicia's character, she's like, I've decided to go and be with that person, or like make that choice and stay, and it doesn't always end the way that you think it's going to end, or it's not always the right choice, which is definitely me talking to Cait from future me.
Yeah, cool. Wait, so is Alicia based on someone?
She's based on the influencer Taryn Delaney Smith. If you don't follow her, she's so funny and cool.
Yes, I know. Yeah, she's funny.
She's so funny. And
I like
she's
her.
coming out with a book in the fall.
Oh, cool.
cool.
Is it going to be based on her travels?
I have no idea. All I know is she's coming
Okay.
out with a book, and I'm like, how do I talk to her?
Yeah. You should reach out to her. Invite her on your podcast.
That's all I'm like, how do I talk to her? That's,
yeah, no, I know who she is. I didn't know she was like a travel influencer, I guess. I feel like I've only seen her stuff where she's like in New York, but
she does a lot. But anyway, she was just more like the coolest person I could imagine. And like when I think of Alicia and like the kind of foil that she is for Cait, and yeah, like I was like, just all I could picture was her. I was like, imagine being friends with her in real life. Like I would be so intimidated all the time. But like I wonder what influencing is really like. And I do have a friend who's an influencer that a lot of this stuff comes from too, and like his life and like hanging out with this person can be difficult.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Have you gone to a influencer dinner like in the book in Paris?
Not specifically a dinner, but events that are so intimidating and so like cringy, and I'm like, I can't imagine living this life. You know, it's just such an interesting choice.
Yeah.
No judgment, it's just weird.
Was there anything else like based on real life? Like was Jan like your adult version of you and Cait was like the younger version of you, or not? Or I don't know if there's any like influence in that.
Yeah, Jan is definitely like my inside thoughts coming out. Yeah, that was all. Honestly, like I just wanted her to have a friend that like could show up in these moments or like be there for her, that was more like a third party, you know, that we could all kind of love. But definitely, I think my inside thoughts. But I like the idea that it's more of an adult version of me. I think that's probably more of what Jan is, for sure. Because I don't know where Jan came from, and I would just assume that it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Jan's a good friend, and Jan's on her own journey.
Yeah.
She is. Like, trying to explain Jan to my husband the years and years I was writing the book was, like, so difficult. Like, not, you know what I mean? You guys are very, like, I know, Liza, you, like, are writing, but, like, when you're trying to talk to your partner about your book, but they haven't read it, and it's, like, not complete, and you're, like, have these ideas that you get excited about, or you wrote something that you thought was funny, and they, like, completely cannot relate. They're, like, out of context. So, like, trying to describe Jan to my husband was really difficult for a long time until he finally got to read it. And that was really fun.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say my husband also writes, but he does, like, AI, like, technical stuff. So when he tries to explain his stuff to me, like, he gets really excited, and it's just, like, completely over my head. So it's a little different, but, yeah, it's an interesting, dynamic.
I can't even imagine that. Yeah, that's really funny. How does you guys' dynamic work? Do you guys like all like to read the same stuff? Are you like all different genres? Like when you are like deciding on books or topics or guests, like how does there's three of you?
It's
Liza.
Okay, no. So Lydia and I would pitch a book, and then Lily would decide. But recently it's been a lot of me. Yeah, I didn't know how that worked with you guys, because if there's three and you're all sisters and you all like have like family dynamics and opinions.
I don't know. I feel like Liza likes a lot of fantasy, and like I do like fantasy. I feel like
Lily likes contemporary like romance, and Lydia, I don't know what Lydia likes.
I don't know.
I just need to read more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the popular books that everyone's reading. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
that is fun.
Yeah, I like both. I don't have like a specific genre that I'm like super into. I like a little bit of everything, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We talked a little bit about like influencing and kind of like, you know, that some of it's a little can be like cringe, or it's very like curated and might be kind of an interesting job. But I guess I'm kind of curious of like other themes and like tropes that you were interested in exploring in the book, and what you want like your readers to take away from the story.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny, like writing this book, like tropes weren't a thing yet when I started this. The tropes are like so new to me. And I think in general, they're so new. Tropes were not a part of my MFA program. It's like it's a new marketing thing, and I think it's cool because I think that we just weren't so like heavily reliant on them before. We were calling them like stereotypes maybe, or whatever they were called at the time, but I think that they are super important, and they make readers feel safe, and they make them feel like they know what to expect a little bit, and it's fun to play around with those. But like, I wish I knew more. I almost kind of wish, but I'm okay with them not having been around when I started this book. But yeah, like the love abroad, like all of that, was going to be a part of it. So I tried to play with those kind of like an American finding love abroad is. There's a lot of considerations when you're writing that. A big one for me was like ethical tourism and kind of my feelings on tourism in general, over tourism, and how influencer culture affects that. And
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think like outside of that, it was definitely ethical tourism.
Yeah, I definitely hear you with the tropes, because like when I wrote my first book, I didn't think about them, and like now I'm having to like put labels on it, or like tropes on it. I'm like, I think it's this. I don't really know. I was not thinking that when I wrote it, but now I have to like go back and like pick out what it might be closest to.
Exactly. It's so weird. Even the one I'm writing now, I'm just like, oh, what tropes am I using? Or like, oh, I guess I'm writing a second chance romance, which I didn't even, now it's like in our heads. For better or worse, I think it seems like readers like them. It seems like readers want to know ahead of time what they're getting into. So
yeah.
I like them as a reader because I'm like, oh, okay, I like this. And so in theory, I should like the book. But I mean, there's many books that I don't like any of those tropes, and I still like the book. So I guess like it does help, and it like sometimes like doesn't really matter.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes they're easier to read. Yeah, and honestly, blurbs don't always work for me.
Yeah.
So if it's easier to just say like pick out the tropes instead of like reading a whole blurb, that I'm just like, this kind of doesn't sound like what I want. Whereas I probably would like the book if I didn't read the blurb. Yeah, the tropes can be fun.
Okay, I have a couple remaining questions about the book that hopefully will be...
before I go to the next book you're working on.
I know everyone wants to jump ahead, but... Okay.
Keep going.
Why was Lydia the villain? Or at least, why did you give her the name Lydia? And is there an evil Lydia in your life?
Oh, there was. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I was definitely cheated on by a girl named Lydia, and that's only...
Wait, really?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm so sorry.
Life, like, in my experiences in relationships, oh my God, there was totally a Lydia. And, like, she's way too specific for you to not be like... You're like, there's definitely some girl out there named Lydia that has a Carpe Diem tattoo. No, that's actually a few different girls in one girl, but yeah. Oh, totally.
Okay. Got it. Well, now you know.
Lydia, I'm so
it's okay. It's okay. Now you know how much nicer, Lydia. I'm not evil, I swear.
You are so not Lydia.
Such a reoccurring theme in like all the books we read.
There's like a lot of books, yeah. There's
all the books.
I know, it's almost like I feel like younger me when it happened should have been like, I knew it was going to be a girl named Lydia. Of course, it's a girl named Lydia.
Of course. Watch your back for Lydia, gosh.
All right. I'm not evil. Only sometimes. My next question is, what was up with her parents, Cait's parents? Are those based on your parents? Were they upset when you traveled abroad?
No, they're not my parents, but so funny because my editor was British. And so she did not understand the parents at all. She was just like, do we need to include the parents? And I was like, absolutely. Yes, you need the parents. Like, you need the parents. But she was like, we don't really, like, she didn't get kind of the MAGA stuff or, like, whatever, I feel like my parents are super young, but I feel like they're, like, friends' parents or my grandparents.
Yeah.
Have similarities to that. Like every time I would tell them I was going abroad, I might as well have told them that I was going to the jungles of Africa to live in a tent, going to London to study musical theater. Like it was like, you don't do that. There's bad people in the world. It was like very not celebrated at all. Yeah. And that's how I felt like a lot of my friends' parents and stuff can be like that for sure.
Yeah, their dynamic was funny. They were just very upset that she wasn't at lunch, which was hilarious.
Yeah, and for someone who's never been abroad, yeah, like I can imagine. That was my thought, was like, well, she's literally never left Cape Cod. I can't imagine her mom like can really wrap her head around her being in another country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
I was curious about the end. So Kate's on the airplane and she's going to visit someone. We don't know who. I was thinking that it is Jim and Sandy because they're like always moving around. But Lydia thought that she might be going back to see Luke.
No, I thought she was going to go see Nicholas.
Oh,
you thought they were going to rekindle, maybe.
Oh, you like Nicholas better than Luke?
Yeah.
People really like Nicholas, and I just didn't. That was like one of those things when you release a book, you don't know what people's reactions are going to be to that. And yeah, that was like a pretty common thing that they were like, but why not Nicholas? He was cool. And I was like, yeah, but like, if you could smell Nicholas, like, you wouldn't think that. You know what I mean? Like, he might smell like patchouli or like, I just picture like Nicholas with like a dude wearing bracelets and like living his best life. He is really fun. I think in my head she's going to visit Jim and Sandy, or she's just kind of like jumping on. And that's what I did for a long time. Like, if they were somewhere cool, I would just go visit them. It would give me a reason to go somewhere.
That's so fun.
Yeah, we went to Harry and Meghan's wedding together.
What?
Yeah, we went to the royal wedding. We've had some adventures, Jim and Sandy and I. So yeah, I always try to see them. They're still going. They're like, right now they're like in Asia or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Follow their blog. They're amazing.
Okay.
Wait, how'd you meet your Jim and Sandy?
They're friends of my parents, and that was it. There's like some weird connection that they met my parents through like my grandmother, like, and yeah, they just all became friends. This was probably like 20 years ago. And then they retired and went to live this life and got connected with them. Sandy, that wasn't her family that was like in the war that she was going to see, but we were with another one of their friends who was going to like do the war thing. So that's all like real. Like, one of their friends was going to this village in France to celebrate the fact that her parents were both, her dad was an American soldier, her mom like was from this village. In the liberation they met and had this like amazing love story, and like all of that stuff in the celebration in the village is like a totally real, it was like a crazy weekend where they like partied and celebrated the Americans
so
coming
cool.
in. It was crazy.
So interesting and random.
Wait, did you have a thing with a man in a uniform?
Yeah. No, like that's totally I know. I was like, this is crazy. And then I ended up becoming like part of this group where we would like go to Normandy and like reenact like D-Day battles. So
really?
I want to see this costume. Do you still have it?
Photos?
Yeah. I'll send it to you. I feel like I post about it sometimes, or like I have.
I don't know if I've seen that. What?
Really?
That's awesome.
Anyway.
Huh. I was gonna say, like, it was so specific, and like I was like, she must be based on like something that she's done.
It is hyper, but like imagine having that experience and being like in an MFA program, and then they're like, write your thesis, and you're like, I've got a story. But I think the specificity is something that I really like taught me a lot about writing the other things too, is like that's really important, and to like really create the world and all of that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, you can picture, like I could picture it like when I was reading it for sure, but it was just like, wow, this must be based on like, something she saw. Yeah.
How else would you come up with all that? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like really working really hard to do the same thing in the next book, which is like still based on real things, but not as real as like this exact story. You know, I think that I have to write based on real things in some capacity.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, that's the only way I can do it.
So you mentioned a book that you're working on. Is that a sequel to this book, or is this book a one and done?
Oh,
and you're working on something. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, I don't know. That was my reaction. There's two at the moment, but right now I've been working on like a second chance romance that, again, really inspired by a lot of like more contemporary stuff that's out right now and people playing with like narrative structures like Into the Blue and like more in-depth like romance and stuff, like stuff that she created in that. So that's kind of what my comp is at the moment, is Into the Blue or Daisy Jones and the Six type like stuff. Trope Sick. Did you guys read Trope Sick at all?
No, I haven't read that one. I've seen it. Seen you post about
I'd
it.
be curious about your thoughts of that. Do you guys read Into the Blue?
No, I read
No.
Daisy Jones and the Six.
Yeah, I read that
Into
one
the
too.
Blue. You guys gotta read Into the Blue.
Okay.
Into the Blue.
Oh my god.
All right.
It's so good. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't want to steer you the wrong way. I would never like say that this was like, but it was my favorite book that I've read in a long time.
Okay, cool. Add it
Into
to
the Blue.
list.
And we get to read really good books. I'm not like, but Into the Blue changed the way I look at literature.
Oh,
No, you guys.
okay.
It's really good. It's good. Yeah.
I'm gonna read it.
Yeah.
I like
I-
want to have her on our podcast so bad, but I'm also so nervous. Like I'm like I can't like I'm like I'm gonna fangirl too hard. Like you know what I mean? I'm gonna be too nervous. And so Jenna she's like, get Emma Brody, and I'm like, it's not time yet. It's not time. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's next. Cool. Yeah.
I was kind of wondering, so are you thinking about doing that one indie, or are you thinking of trying to go the traditional route again? Or I guess we could also kind of go into thoughts on that and like kind of your story with places we'll go. Because I think, you started traditional with that, but then you ended up going a different route.
Yeah, honestly, and like same with you, Liza. Like it was intended to go traditional because I didn't know any other way. Like I just was like, oh, I'm gonna query this, and that's how you do it. I started querying about a year ago, like last fall, and then it did well. Like I think it went like as well as it could have gone for querying and how querying goes, and like got a ton of full requests and went to like a conference, like met some people, and did the whole thing, and it was going well. And then I just wasn't getting any bites on the full request. And there were things that like I could change, but it wasn't like, I was like, why is this just not like, it's getting to that point, but it's not going past that point. So I was like, there's something's wrong with the story. So like I hired a dev editor and I was like, what's wrong here? Like what's going on with the story? And she was like, story works. It's just not for the market, or like, and that's like what I was getting. It was just like, I don't know where to put this on a bookshelf. I don't know how to sell this book. So that to me just said like, well, if I know how to sell this book, then I'm just going to sell it. So to me, it just like it didn't fit the market at the time or what it was demanding. And so nobody was picking it up from the full requests. So like we started the podcast and honestly talking to so many indie authors and talking to so many trad authors that still do indie books. And I was just like, I just can't do this. Like, I just want it out there because it's my first novel. Like, I just want a product in the world. I want to be able to like sell it and talk about it and go on and have it while I work on the other stuff. So I think I'll continue to query, but honestly, indie's been great. And like now that I've built this platform and now that I've had sales, like I almost don't want to like give that away to a traditional publisher, like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing because I've heard a lot of horror stories, honestly, from like trad authors, and they all have like this kind of terror in their eyes when you're talking to them too. It's so true, but like on our podcast, we could be talking to authors who have 10 bestsellers that are like authors we all know and love, and their next book is coming out and they're all terrified. Like they're
Really?
all still terrified. Nobody feels secure. Nobody is like killing it. Like everybody's constantly scared because it doesn't matter what you did the last time, it's about the next one.
Mm.
And whether that's going to be a bestseller or not, and trying to make that advance back. So it just seems so sad. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't
Seems
know.
like a
What are we
lot.
doing this for, guys?
Yeah.
It's so intense. And like, I think I made a lot more money indie publishing and keeping my own rights and royalties and building my own plot, that I'm just not like, I'm like, what's the point here? We have traditional authors trying to get their publicists to do stuff like what we're doing with your podcast, and like, and I'm like, they're reaching out to me to be on my podcast and your podcast, so like, what, like, why are we all trying to get traditionally published when like we're doing it ourselves now?
Yeah,
you know, as a like, having said that, I'm still gonna try. But like, I'm gonna try to get one out there, but I really want to do both. Like, I think I'm gonna keep writing stuff for the indie market, and I'm gonna keep trying to write stuff for the commercial market, and I'm gonna do both.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because there's a lot of authors who do both, and like a common trend now is selling the audio rights. But I think you recorded your own, so why did you kind of decide to record the book yourself?
Yeah, we're still doing it because it's like something that me and my husband are just doing on the side. My husband owns a recording studio.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's a musician. He does that. I went to school for theater. It just made sense. My in-laws own.
Yeah, you're a very creative couple.
it's you could say, I guess, yeah. My in-laws own like a big theater down the street from our house too, so there's lots of like actors around. So it didn't even make sense to like hire out. It was like, oh, we can do that all here, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, I didn't traditionally indie. Most people do both. That's what I'm finding. Like all my favorite authors, they do both. And a lot of them will say like they're diversifying their income. They're diversifying their portfolio. If one industry really tanks them, they own this other thing. And my friends that are indie authors, I've also seen the opposite. We have friends that are indie authors that sell thousands and thousands and thousands of books and then sell that book to a traditional publisher.
Yeah, that's also really common right now. A lot of traditional publishers are going after indie authors, and it's interesting that they're making the decision to go traditional.
I know. And I'm like, I don't want to make you feel bad, but why did you do that? You know, because like you sold 50,000 copies of your book, and then I get it. It's exciting. It must be exciting when you get that contract and stuff. But that means they're banking on your next book to do the same thing. And so that's putting so much pressure on yourself. You know?
Yeah.
No. There's no wrong way.
Yeah, it sounds like there's
a
lot of ways to go. Yeah.
Like all we talk about in the industry.
Places you'll go. Yes.
We'll see. We'll see where we go.
Places you go.
Where did the title come from?
Like, the places you'll go from like, yeah, I just remember like getting that in high school for my graduation from my mom and having that excitement. I think I don't know about you guys, I always had that excitement when I was like 20 to like about all the things that I was going to do, or like the places, like the actual places you could travel in the world you could see, because I didn't as a kid at all. So I just remember getting that book and being like, oh my God, what does life have in store? And you just never fucking know. That's sorry, do we swear on the Cozy podcast?
Yes.
On the Cozy
you
podcast.
literally have no clue. Yeah. And that's fascinating to me, is that we don't know, you know.
Yeah.
Life is weird.
Cool. Can you tell us more about your podcast and what you do?
Do you drink margs on the pod?
We do. We get pretty loaded up.
Really?
Chat. Yeah.
I love it.
Well, they were in the book a lot too. A lot of like margarita, tequila references in Places We'll Go.
There are. I never even thought the
pod.
At the end, I guess I did throw in there's a joke about Jan starting a podcast, and that was like definitely, I was like, Jan would definitely start a podcast. We just drink and we unload with authors about the industry and kind of different topics and about their books too, but we kind of try to focus it on like their writing and their journey in publishing. It's a lot of venting. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's been cool though. It's been fun to like talk to. We just had like Julie Murphy on, who wrote. Did you ever watch the Netflix movie Dumplin'?
Oh,
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, her book is You guys would really like her book. Vera Stein is Fine that came out last month. That was a really good one too for the summer. She's really cool. Yeah, just people we're excited to talk to, and it's been really fun. It's a lot of work, as you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. How do you like balance it all? Like the writing, releasing multiple podcasts a month, that's a lot. And also being a mother and a wife and trying to have personal life, on top of it all.
Yeah,
and
I don't
do you
know.
also work full time?
I do. I'm still in higher ed. Yeah, I'm still an advisor, which is, it's nice. It's flexible. But Jenna's a writer too. She writes fantasy and she's working on her debut. And it's hard, dude. Like, it's really, when people ask, they're like, oh, how's the book release going? Or like, are you busy with the book release? I'm like, no, I'm busy with a podcast. Like, it's not even that, just not what you thought you would be doing. You know, I'm sure you guys can totally relate. I literally last Saturday, I went to a hotel by myself to write. I just booked a hotel and like had to just go write. It comes at night. Sometimes it's at 3 a.m. and I have to wake up and go do it. I also write by hand in a notebook, and then I transfer it to my computer. So I just bought 2 monitors so that I could like type it out and like see it. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I think you could get AI to help you with that now.
That's
you could
what
take a
my
photo of
husband
it
said.
And then upload it.
He was like, I don't know, writers are so terrified of AI that he said the same thing.
That's true, yes.
He was like, I take a photo of my handwriting and I put it into AI, and I was like, I can't even think about it.
That's true. That might
Remarkable
spook
kind
you a
of does
little.
that. I write by hand too. Well, and I got a Remarkable, and that does work. It kind of converts. It's not perfect though. It might be better now.
Like, it's like, because I can't read it 9 times out of 10. Like, I can't read what I wrote. But it's like, I have like things. So this is the current manuscript.
Like adding stuff in,
Yeah, this is a different manuscript, but the current one is a disaster. It's all stuff like all around the edges and like. Yeah, I know. I sent a picture to Jenna the other day, and I was like, "This is what I'm dealing with, man." Like, and she was like, "Do I see Sesame Street written in the?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's dialogue about Sesame Street, I guess." But I know it's hard. I don't know when you're supposed to do it all. Like, but when's your book coming out, Liza? You're like full on right now, right? Are you publishing?
I was querying, so I'm querying one.
Really good. Okay.
Yeah, and so then I'm working on another one right now, and I'm going to apply for Smooch Pit, which is like a romance mentorship sort of thing, and that's in September. So I'm working on that with another manuscript. So we will see how things work out.
Who was it? Somebody just told me recently that they did. It might have been Grace Riley. It might have been the girl that wrote Yes Chef that said she got something from Smooch Pit, or maybe it was Julie Murphy. But somebody was like, I started out at Smooch Pit or something, and I was like, oh, that's super cool. I do think those things are super worth it. Like, any full requests I got last year were from things like that. Like, they weren't like through Query Tracker. I'm not convinced Query Tracker's like.
And then I think I'm going to do some more conferences. So I did like an in-person one and pitching, and that went really well. My first manuscript is YA, and that's a very tricky market. I have a better feeling about the second book I'm working on because it's more like contemporary romantic fantasy, and it's adult, so it's a bit easier of a pitch. We'll see how things work out.
It's not a bad. Come over to this side. It's not bad over here. It's cool. But yeah, I know it's like I think every book has its own thing too. Some books you just know that it might just be better indie. Some books you're like, no, I feel like I could query this, and like it might make it somewhere. But yeah, it depends. I get that.
Well, Cait, do you have any advice for other aspiring authors or anything you want to close out with?
Put out to the world. Yeah.
The world, dude, I put so much out to the world every week. The world does not need any more from me. No, yeah, I think that's it. I think that like for readers and writers and whatever, it's every book has its own thing. So like if you're writing something right now, its journey is going to be different from the next thing's journey. And that's what I'm learning right now, talking every week to a different author who's like on some part of their own journey. They're either a Reese's Book Club author or they're like haven't published yet, you know? So it's like getting all those perspectives has like been really fascinating, and everyone's terrified. That's
All right.
Yeah,
I guess it's good to
Everyone's
know.
terrified.
But you should still do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're
Do
scared.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Support your favorite authors because they're terrified. Leave good reviews. Yeah.
Be nice in the
It's hard.
reviews.
It's hard out there for them.
Thanks so much for listening to episode 32. You can find us on Instagram or YouTube at Let's Get Cozy Book Club, and join us in 2 weeks where we will share our thoughts on As You Wish by Danica Brown. Until then, stay cozy.
Cozy.
Wow, well, that was
Lies, you do that every time. Like